Trisha Paytas is calling out Zach Sayang. Recently, Brooke Schofield and Tana Mojo were talking about him following the Clinton Kane situation, but now Trisha is talking about him as she's seen videos that have gone around of him asking questions to guests on his Zach Sayang show along with his co-host Dan, and people have been saying that they find those questions really inappropriate and have been questioning Zach entirely. So we're gonna get into everything that has been said about Zach, both on TikTok and by people that he knows, like Tana, Brooke, and Trisha, because it seems this situation has even led to Trisha deleting the podcast episode that they filmed together last year. Now, before we get into anything, I want to let you guys know that today's video is sponsored by Factor. And I'm honestly so excited that Factor is sponsoring this video because I've genuinely ordered Factor for myself in the past, so the fact that we're working together now is just definitely making me so happy. In case you do not know what Factor is, Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh and never frozen dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. Each meal is crafted by gourmet chefs using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. And what I love about Factor is that it takes the stress out of meal prepping, meal planning, going to the grocery store. I am saving so much time and energy, which is why I wanted it in the first place. With Factor, literally within 2 minutes, you have a gourmet chef prepared meal at your table. It's perfect for those busy days when you don't have time to cook but still want something nutritious and delicious, and it genuinely tastes good. Like, it's seasoned, it's filling, with over 35 meals to choose from every week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie. There's something for everyone. Plus, you can add snacks, breakfast items, and beverages to keep you fueled all day. I have literally been obsessed with this watermelon juice, you guys. They sent it to me, and it was the first time I tried one of their juices, and I was like, yep, I'm taking this to the movies with me when I went the other day. So see why I love Factor and head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code SPILLSESH50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code SPILLSESH50 at factor75.com for an amazing deal on meals that will keep you feeling great all summer long. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video, and let's get into the news. A couple weeks ago, Zach Sayang's character had come into question when Brooke Schofield was exposing her ex-boyfriend Clinton Kane. Brooke just felt betrayed by Zach, trying to capitalize on their story as she had found out that Zach was shopping around a potential show of sorts about this crazy relationship that she had experienced. And Tana and Brooke were both calling him out for being a clout chaser, saying that this was actually a known fact around LA.
Because you are an opportunistic, clout chasing, I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
piece of shit, honestly.
Yeah. It is like so wildly known across LA, like his obsession with clout.
Now, the timing of this conversation happened to be around the time when people had been talking about the way Zach interviews, as he had an awkward interview with Trixie Mattel not too far before this. And it wasn't just those on the internet that were talking about this interview being awkward or uncomfortable, as Trixie even felt that Zach had diminished their work and talked about the interview in a video posted afterwards.
Can you recall horrible interviewers that you got interviewed by?
I recently interviewed by a guy. He was like, you know, your gigs when you're out there lip syncing in bars, and I said, yeah, the theaters I sell out have bars. Like, I was like, you really don't know anything.
Yeah, like
what you're talking about. Yeah, you don't know what the talking about, bitch.
A collection of what you do now, right? Like, just to wait tables, for instance, takes so much personality, so much charisma, so much like one-on-one energy, which, by the way, like, that's exactly what you're doing to a certain degree when you're up there performing to a bar full of people. And makeup is very much in the DNA of what you do as well. And
yeah. Yeah, the theaters I work in do have bars. They do.
But people really were upset after seeing his interview with Tara Yummy, where they really just felt like the questions being asked were odd and unnecessary.
What about you is yummy?
That was rude.
What isn't yummy about her?
I don't know. Like, what about what's the yummiest part about you?
That's a crazy thing to say, no?
It is a crazy thing.
Okay. Because, like, my automatic answer is going to go to a joke. What would a 12-year-old boy say? You know what I mean? I don't know.
People started to then do some more digging into past interviews and found some pretty crazy questions being asked to stars such as Madison Beer, Sabrina Carpenter, and more. But those two specifically had been interviewed a couple of times by Zach and his co-host Dan, and people had just been shocked by some of the things said.
Dan's your number. If there's a fan club out there,
I'm the leader of it.
I'm saying I think Dan's the president.
Are you?
Yeah. That makes me so happy to hear.
Thank you, guys. How old are you now?
I'm 17, about to be 18.
Jesus.
How ready are you to be 18?
I'm the most ready you could be. Sometime, like when I'm 18, he'll be 20.
But
so.
we've had the conversation, like, you're very mature. Like,
Yeah.
you look super sexy.
Do I?
It's crazy.
18, that's why.
It's this new 18-year-old glow.
Is it?
Best part about being 18.
Please compliment. Just got a new bathtub because I moved into a new house.
Nice.
So I love baths now.
What's
so
your
that's
address?
fun.
Jesus.
1-800.
You have a boyfriend?
Hey, Dan. No, I don't have a boyfriend.
How much fun can you have in a minute?
So much fun.
Which Sabrina Carpenter had actually pointed out before that Dan does ask weird questions.
But you saying that nice was really nice. Like, we've come a long way from like just you asking like, you know, the weird questions.
So as this was all being brought to light, Trisha Paytas decided to come out and talk about it, calling out Zach and Dan for the strange clips that she'd been seeing going around online.
It's just red flag after red flag after red flag for just inappropriate. And yes, I guess, I don't know if Zach is gay or queer. I'm not really sure which one, if he's open. I'm not sure. But like either way is like inappropriate. And then on top of it, having Dan ask all these questions to these girls is like so weird. And to say Dan's the president of your fan club, he's your biggest fan. I'm like, that's, you know, you're 25 and this freshly 18 girl you're like talking to, like, it gives me the creeps. It gives me the absolute creeps. And the Sabrina Carpenter one is wild when they actually ask her age. Because, like, one, good kudos to Dan, I guess, for asking their age. But two, it's like when Sabrina's like, I'm 17, you know, they just keep going.
Trisha seemed to have a good relationship with Zach as they hung out in the past. They even dressed up as Sharpay and Ryan from High School Musical. She's also done his podcast a number of times and praised him tons, but her eyes have been open to this side of him and she doesn't approve of it. And it seems to be why she's taken down their podcast episode together that they did last October. She said in her podcast recently that it was after the Tara Yummy episode that really had her questioning Zach.
I think the Tara one really opened my eyes. I remember because I was still cool with them and I still was like, ooh, this is like a really uncomfy interview. And in my opinion, Tara looked uncomfortable. She could be like, she's totally fine. But I know Tara and I've seen her interviews. I've seen her next to Jake and Johnny. I've seen her even next to Zach. She seems more comfortable. But that one, she seemed very like put off. You know what I mean? Just as an observer. I don't know. She didn't talk to me about it, obviously. But I think they get a pass, and Zach maybe gets a pass too, you know, because he's, you know, maybe gay. So people are like, well, he's gay. So it does, but it's like, it still has, I don't know, something, like it's still a guy asking inappropriate questions to girls, you know what I mean?
Now, Zach hasn't come out to talk about anything being said about him, from the cloud chasing to the interview questions. The only thing that's really come out has been Brooke saying that he threatened to sue her for her comments about him allegedly. And he hasn't said anything about what Trisha has said, and Trisha has not mentioned anything about potentially getting sued. So I guess whatever she said, he was going to leave that be. But what has recently happened is that Zach has limited the comments on his Instagram and has seemingly removed photos of him and his boyfriend Jaden from his Instagram. Actually, they both have removed photos of each other from Instagram. And this is particularly interesting because while Zach has been getting talked about, a lot of people have been bringing attention to his relationship with Jaden. Jaden is 22, but a lot of people have seen photos of them together and been like, Zach looks like your dad. It just felt like it was an interesting relationship. But everything on Instagram has pretty much been deleted on both their ends, so people don't know if it has to do with the comments that people have made about them or if they broke up. Jaden had also posted a TikTok recently that had people wondering like if it was about Zach, which it's unclear.
No response is the best response.
I'm trying to sit here mute as
But now it's sparking a whole other conversation about what's going on. But that is what has been going on with Zach Sang as of recent. I feel like Zach had a pretty good reputation until recently. Like, it always seemed like he was getting these massive stars to be on his show, and it seemed like he was on good terms with all of them. I mean, clearly Ariana Grande trusted him so much that, you know, she just doesn't do a lot of interviews, but she'll sit down with Zach Sang, and it was a safe space. But I don't know if that's about to be the case anymore, because it was also coming out that he gets drunk and talks about what Ariana tells him. So I do not know, you guys, what is in store for Zach Sang. Obviously, he is keeping it pushing, still posting every day on his YouTube channel, but everywhere else it's been pretty silent. So that is what Trisha had to say about Zach Sang. That is what the internet has been exposing about Zach Sang. There is just so much being said. I certainly want to know what you guys think about everything though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.